We're starting with new tests that show the ground near a train derailment in Minnesota is still contaminated with high levels of a dangerous chemical.
Tens of thousands of gallons of ethanol spilled in March after a Burlington Northern Santa Fe train jumped the tracks in Raymond. Investigative reporter Ryan Raish obtained state records that show the railroad is still cleaning up the mess months after the derailment.
When a BNSF train carrying hazardous materials derailed this past spring, Governor Tim Walz predicted little impact to the environment.
The good news probably is with the relatively frozen ground that the ethanol will burn off.
But more than 6 months later,
the fact that there is contamination, given what they said about what had spilled, that part is very surprising.
The groundwater underneath these tracks is still contaminated.
There is residual contamination at the site, and for my shoes, it has to be dealt with and remediated.
But apparently dealt with quietly.
It would really be nice to know.
Monitoring wells drilled after the derailment detected high levels of a chemical called benzene, which can cause cancer. This environmental report obtained by 5 Investigates show those levels were nearly 75 times higher than what's allowed by the state.
Is that concerning to you?
In this case, not at this moment. As far as I'm aware, no one is using this water for anything, not for drinking, not for agricultural use, not for gardening, nothing. So as long as nobody is using this water or encountering it, there should be little risk to the population of Raymond.
Tyler Boley is an environmental specialist with the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency. He says BNSF is now required to monitor whether the contamination is spreading.
We're looking for the edge of that plume to determine whether or not there are additional risks to be considered for the public.
But it appears BNSF did not tell the public. The railroad did not respond to our questions. So we started asking people in Raymond and couldn't find anyone who knew about the lingering chemicals.
We have every right to know.
5 Investigates started talking to people in town right after the train went off the tracks. Initial praise for the railroad's response.
A $300 gift card was given to each household.
BNSF gave you a $300 gift card?
Yes.
Now turning to frustration.
Have a town meeting, have something, keep the people informed.
Sherry Wolfslager runs the town's library. Not a bad spot for a town meeting.
It's definitely concerning living in town.
This is one of the reasons for the further testing. This is Hawk Creek, a couple thousand feet from the site of that derailment. And the MPCA wants to make sure that none of the hazardous chemicals migrate through the groundwater and reach this creek.
We're not currently expecting it to reach the creek in the near future. And they are trying to determine the extent and the magnitude of the benzene to make sure it's not a risk in the future for either human health or the environment.
We want MPCA to really be open and transparent.
Ann Borgendale is with Kira, Minnesota, an environmental advocacy group based a few miles from the derailment.
I would hope that the Pollution Control Agency, even if they're saying it looks like it's a contained situation, would be reaching out to that perimeter nearby where people might be impacted by it, if nothing else, just to allay people's fears.
The MPCA later explained its role is to guide and assist BNSF to ensure it properly deployed its emergency response plan. The state agency and the railroad have not explained the lack of communication about the chemicals still contaminating this groundwater.
When they do have reports saying there are findings of benzene, a cancerous chemical nearby, it worries people.
The MPCA says it expects a new round of testing sometime this month. The agency also says the other concern here is the ethanol that's still detected in the groundwater. Over time, ethanol breaks down into methane, which could cause other problems. And guys, depending on the further tests that they're going to be doing, it's something the agency says they may have to monitor for months, if not years, the methane we're talking about.
Well, there's no definitive answer right now.
That's why they're going to keep doing these tests.
And you know residents are saying, but what if? I mean,
Right. Or tell us.
We'll keep on it.
Okay.
Thank you, Ryan.